What's going on, guys? Hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. So today we need to talk about whether it's time to buy the cryptocurrency dip, right? So you can see Bitcoin in the past 24 hours down 10.2%, Ethereum down 13.1%, and you can see on the 7-day most of the move is coming from the past 24 hours, right? So if we take a look at the past 24 hours, basically the 1-day chart, you can see it's quite a big red candle, right? So even though this seem like pretty small candles, so this is actually a 10% move, right? If I zoom out, you can see that it's a pretty big red candle. So what's been happening in Bitcoin and the macro markets, right? So basically, in the past few weeks, Bitcoin and the general market, even the Nasdaq, has been rallying really hard, right? So basically, it's been like what, up 11% in the past month, and from the bottom, it's up about, I think at the peak it was up 23%. So now we can see there's a pullback. So was this a bear market rally? So in my opinion, I thought it was a bear market rally because obviously nothing goes straight down and nothing goes straight up, right? So in my opinion, it was I thought it was a bear rally, but obviously everyone can have differentiating opinions, right? So I think it was a bear rally primarily because we have a lot of negative news still coming out. Basically, these are macroeconomic factors, right? Not to be taken to use on individual names, right? But basically, the macroeconomic headwinds are still very high, right? So there's still, I still believe that the Fed is going to be quite hawkish, even though everyone thinks they are going to be dovish. I still believe that we still have a lot of basically Fed rate hikes before we are done with this Fed rate hike cycle, because the inflation is still at 8.5%, right? And everyone's cheering, right? Oh yes, inflation is coming down based on one print, right? So what if the next print comes out to be 8.6%? You can see the markets will really dump very hard, right? Because markets are always based on expectations, right? So now trying to answer the question. So is it time to buy the dip? Obviously I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do, right? But this is what I'm personally doing, right? Because you can see that in the past week, even like big stocks like Apple, Saudi Aramco, Microsoft, Google, Alphabet, all down, right? So this is yesterday. So obviously yesterday the Nasdaq was down about 2%. So pretty large move in any case, right? So we can see that maybe this bear market rally has come to an end and we are going back down lower, right? So that is what I personally believe. But obviously you can do your own research and make your own opinions. So what am I personally doing? You can see that Bitcoin is pretty low prices right now, right? You can see even like through historically, if you're holding since like 2017, basically you're barely out of the water right now, right? So in those few years, so inflation has probably outpaced your investments, right? So what I'm looking to do right now is start dollar cost averaging, but ultimately I still have like a $15,000 price target from last time on Bitcoin, right? Because if it's at 21,000 right now, there's still the Fed meetings coming out. There's still the CPI data coming up, which I personally don't expect it to be too good. So there's still many other factors, such as like obviously the Fed. I expect the Fed to be more hawkish, and also like basically Bitcoin specific factors, which are like Mt. Gox is set to release basically 137,000 Bitcoin in the next maybe few days or the next month, right? So the Ethereum merge is timed perfectly with Mt. Gox user. Sorry about that. Dumping 140,000 of Bitcoin, basically 3 billion in late August 2022. The flippening is upon us, friends. So flippening or not, that is something else. I'm mainly talking about this 3 billion in sell pressure, right? And a lot of people say, oh, these are like the OG Bitcoin holders. Do you really think they'll sell? They bought in 2014. But obviously it doesn't take a genius to know that a lot of people that bought in 2014, obviously maybe they weren't intending to planning to hold it so long, right? But they were forced to hold it because basically Mt. Gox rugged them, and now they are getting back their money after what, 8-9 years. And you can obviously see that some people may have the need for money, and some people may just see that the crypto market is on a downtrend, I want to sell out. And some people may have bought at like few $1,000s, right? And now definitely few hundred or even like $1,000, and now it's like 20,000. So why not like dump maybe half of my bags or something like that to take profits and basically secure their profits, right? After such a long time, I'm sure a lot of people will want to enjoy their money, right? Because it's been basically forced away from their hands for the longest amount of time, right? And next, also Celsius. Sorry, have ad block, but basically Celsius is gets permission to sell mine Bitcoin, right? claims lenders are lining up. So basically, Celsius Network, which is like the gigantic, basically crypto bank, is getting permission to sell newly minted Bitcoin after the exchange overcame opposition from unsecured lenders, though the ruling came over the continued objection of the US Department of Justice, right? So basically what they're doing is they're going to sell Bitcoin to continue their operations, even though they said 200 million of ample liquidity. So now obviously they are going to sell Bitcoin to continue to try to run their business. And then there's still a lot of other factors such as like Hold Not, right, which is an exchange slash lender in Singapore, I believe. So what happened is they are laying off 80% of their workforce. So obviously, I think this company is going to go bankrupt, right? So yeah, that's my view on the markets right now. So what am I personally doing? So if you're enjoying the video so far, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button and press on all, right? So this will really help out the channel. And also watch till the end, right? Because obviously you don't want to miss any important information. So I'll be primarily looking at coins such as Ethereum, BNB, maybe like Polygon, Near, FTX. So these are the larger caps, right? And when we move down, I'm looking at maybe things like where's the Star Atlas? Like this was a gigantic hyped up game, and now it's down about like 98%, I think. Yeah, so it's down about 98%. It was really hyped out at that time. If anyone bought, well, rip to your money, right? But we live and we learn. So now it's sitting at a fully diluted market cap of like 231 million. So I still have to do some research on this, but others I'll be looking at is like maybe Alchemy Pay. So this is like a credit card basically company, right? Crypto credit card company. So I'll be looking at a lot of things which are under like $100 million market cap or under $500 million market cap, right? Because that's where I think I can get the 10x's and the 100x's, right? So I personally don't think like Ethereum, if you're buying Ethereum, you have some safety in principle in the fact that you know that you can't lose all your money, right? Because like I don't think Ethereum is going away. I don't think Bitcoin is going away. I don't think BNB is going away. So you have some sort of safety, and maybe this helps some people sleep at night that, oh, I won't lose all my money, right? But I am more risk, basically I'm more risk tolerant, so I can take more risk and I can buy things that I believe that can either 100x or go to zero, right? So obviously not asking you to YOLO your life savings there, right? Just these are like primarily speculative positions that can make you rich, right? But basically why I'm going into them is if the risk reward is like favorable enough, then I think it's obviously worth it, right? So if I told you to do you want to flip a coin for let's say $10, and if you lose you only have to pay me $5, then I would say yes to that deal every time, right? But basically my view on Bitcoin is still that is 15,000. That's why I'm not going all in right now, and I think 15,000 might not even be the ultimate bottom in my opinion. So don't take this with too much salt, right? Because I may be just a talking head, right? But basically, why I don't think 15,000 is like the lowest, but I'm still willing to go basically all in at 15,000 is because like even if it goes to 10,000 from then, let's see if we can show up some liquidity from somewhere else and try to buy more. But basically, if it's from 15,000, your upside, let's say, I would think that the next bull run, the upside maybe is like 100,000 or 150,000. So that's like even on Bitcoin, you can do a 10x, right? So imagine what you can do with the altcoins. But of course, you have to research yourself and look for things that actually have value, right? So don't look for like Celsius tokens and shit like that, right? Because basically Ponzi-nomics and bullshit that doesn't work, right? But if it goes down to 15,000, I'm really already willing to go all in on crypto, right? So not with my whole portfolio, obviously. My whole portfolio is like I'm only dedicating about 25% to crypto. So do what you will with the information. But basically, I think even if it went to 10K, it's quite favorable, right? The risk reward, because 15K to 150K, that's just a projection that I think might be quite possible. So a lot of people talking about it. So then if you go down 33% and you can manage to buy some more, that'll be good on you as well, right? Unless this whole ecosystem goes to zero, then yeah, I sure lose my 25%, but I don't really foresee that as a highly likely scenario. So yeah, in general, I do think that this past rally from 10,000 to basically 12,000, 13,000 that we were at, the 23% rally, I did think it was a bear rally, and quite a lot of all these things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Nasdaq, S&P 500, and also the Dow may be less correlated, but these four are definitely quite correlated, right? So if we see Nasdaq continue to drop because of macroeconomics or maybe even earnings recession, then we'll definitely continue to see like Bitcoin continue to drop, right? That is another reason that I think like Bitcoin might continue to drop, right? Because it's not because the asset is not looked up to, or the asset is not valuable, or I think the price is too high, or things like that, right? I'm just looking at the data that I have and seeing that if it's already at this low price, and there's still all these upcoming things like, let's say, an earnings recession, which is highly likely, right? Because we know that the US economy is basically going into a recession, even though the White House would claim that there's no such thing as a recession, inflation is 0%. So you can see that China is basically collapsing. So again, why do I still have investments in China, right? So I still think that even though it's collapsing, so markets are always forward pricing mechanisms, right? So we can see that even if it's collapsing, but the price says that it's already collapsed, so then we have to go and take opportunity, right? But basically why I'm using macroeconomics and Bitcoin as a gauge is basically I cannot really tell the fundamental value of Bitcoin, right? I cannot tell you exactly on the dot how much Bitcoin is worth, whether it's worth 1,000 or it's worth 100,000. I don't know that, right? So it's more, to me, cryptocurrency is still on the more speculative side. There's no basically good models that I can use to value it properly, right? And I know a lot of people will say that, oh, are you an idiot or what? You don't know how to value this, blah, blah, blah. So I'm not too afraid to say I don't know some things. I don't know everything, right? But I do know how to value stocks, and that's why 75% of my portfolio is in stocks, right? So I'm very able to sleep at night, right? So don't worry about my sleep, right? Because some people will be buying things that even in the stock market, they're doing the same thing, right? So I'm doing this in the crypto market because this is the speculative side of my portfolio, and I believe prices are so low that even if I'm wrong about a lot of things, I can still make money, right? But a lot of people do the same thing in the stock market, especially like last year when the Nasdaq was basically at maybe, let's say, here, right? Somewhere around here, everyone was going into tech stocks, or let's say maybe SE stock. You know, this is the Amazon of Southeast Asia, blah, blah, blah. But this is the result, right? And this is because people at that time were pricing in 0% interest rates until like 2024. Basically too exuberant, right? So yeah, stay away from the exuberance. So a short recap. I think there's a lot of macroeconomic headwinds. I think there's Bitcoin specific headwinds, and I don't see like Bitcoin going higher in the next maybe 5 to 6 months, right? So that's something that I really don't see. And I think that macroeconomics will cause the general markets to continue to trend down. So I'm obviously buying because I can't be sure like, oh, is this the Bitcoin bottom or is this the Bitcoin bottom? That is something I cannot be sure of, right? So I still have to buy because I feel like these assets are cheap. But obviously I'm not buying as aggressively as like I'm all in or something like that, right? So if we move to 15K, I'll probably be like maybe 80-90% quote unquote basically all in, right? So I do know that the video for today was a bit messy, right? But it's because it's pretty early in the morning and I really wanted to get my thoughts out before because I have something to do later today, right? So a lot of things to do today, so I just wanted to put out a video and also put out my thoughts to share, because we are in the midst of the decline, right? So some people might be thinking to panic sell or something like that, and maybe my 15K target will might cause them to panic sell, right? But if I was holding right now, I definitely not sell, right? Because these are actually quite, in my opinion, low prices already, right? So, but yeah, that's about all I wanted to share today. If you did enjoy the video, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button. With that being said, have a fantastic day ahead and peace out.